It's 6 o'clock.
can feel
At
it.
this time,
Wow.
I'll call the regular meeting of the Perry City Council for July the 5th, 2016 to order. We have a quorum. Item 3 is the invocation and pledge of allegiance to the flag. If you'll please stand and join with us. The invocation will be done by Reverend Willie King from the Faith Bible Fellowship Church.
Let's bow here, please. Father God, we thank you so much for an opportunity that we're able to work in the city. I thank you for our council members. I ask you to give us wisdom and knowledge, Lord. And we look through the city to see situation that we'll be able to deal with it and deal with it properly, that we enhance our city and people will be enjoying coming to this city. I want to thank you for our administration here. I'm asking you to bless now and direct and lead. In Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
Ask Councilman Hunt to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 4 is community partner updates. Are there any community partners here this evening that would have anything to offer to the council? Thank you. Item 5 is appointments to boards, authorities, and commissions. Item 5A is consider appointments to the RATS Citizen Advisory Committee to replace Calvin Middlebrooks and Joe Hamilton. Is there any recommendations for those two replacements at this time?
Also,
There are no replacements. Ms. Warren, would you add that to the agenda for the next session? So I would encourage everyone to think about this. This is a very important, advisory committee that we serve on. We need to look for qualified people that will make good representatives for the city of Perry. Item 6 is citizens with input. Is there anyone here that would like to address council at this time? Yes.
Robin Jackson from the City of Perry. I just want to know the update as far as with the Board of Education, as far as with the road. Did city manager ever get in contact with the board?
No.
He did not. Okay, so I guess that answered that question. All right.
If I may, the mayor was in some discussion
Okay.
with the superintendent and have not heard anything back from that.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Any other input? Thank you. Item 7 is public hearing. The purpose of this public hearing is to provide any interested parties with an opportunity to express their views and concerns in accordance with OCGA Section 36-67A-3C. At this time, I call this public meeting open. 7A is a petition of rezoning and annexation application number R-16-01. The applicant is Terramore Development, LLC. They're requesting to rezone and annex 5.3 acres from Houston County R-1 and C-1 districts to City of Perry C-2 General Commercial District. The property is located in the northwest corner of Highway 41 North and Mac Thompson Road. Mr. Gilmore.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Pro Tem, Mayor, and Council. You have in your packet and also up on the display board the shaded area, not dark colors, are the two parcels that are being requested. This was heard by the Planning Commission in their information hearing. There was no one who spoke for or no one who spoke against this petition. It's my understanding that the petitioner is requesting to rezone the property in order to come into the city and will be used as a Dollar General or another type of commercial facility. And it's located at the intersection of Mac Thomas Road and Macon Road. And the staff and the Planning Commission have no objections to this being processed through.
And we have the county's endorsement as
Yes,
far
the
as
county
moving?
has heard that, and they have no objections to this proposed annexation or its use.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone here who would like to speak on behalf of this petition? Would you come forward and give us your name and address, please?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, members of council. My name is Chris West. I represent Terramore Development, the applicant. I'm their in-house legal counsel. As the city manager suggested, we do intend for this to be a Dollar General. We just recently completed a Dollar General over here on Courtney Hodges Boulevard. You guys helped us out with that, and we greatly appreciate it. We feel like it's we've gotten good feedback from residents here, and I think folks appreciate the look of the store. And this particular project, as you can see, it's vacant property now. It's 5.3 acres. We're requesting first to annex into the city, and we thank the county and Chairman Stallacre's position in not objecting to that. And we're requesting for, it kind of makes sense, the city already is contiguous, I believe, on all sides, or at least 3 sides, to this property, and it kind of makes sense to go ahead and move it into the city of Perry. In addition, we're asking to rezone it from C1, one portion is C1, one portion is, I believe, R2, and we're asking for you folks to move it all into C2 after the annexation. Happy to answer any questions that you may have with regard to Terramore or this development in particular.
Any questions? Thank you, sir. Appreciate your being here. Anyone else who'd like to speak on behalf of this petition? Is there anyone here that'd like to speak in opposition to this petition? Thank you. This public hearing is hereby closed. Item 8 is consent agenda items. 8A, council members, you've been provided with the minutes of June the 20th, 2016 work session, our June the 21st, 2016 pre-council meeting, and our June 21st, 2016 council meeting. Is there a motion to accept the minutes as written?
So moved. Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any additions, deletions, or corrections to these minutes as they've been presented? If not, approval of these minutes by raising your right hand, please. Let the record show that there were 4 for it.
And I abstain from voting since I was not
Yes.
present.
Ms. Bynum Grace abstains. Item 9 is old business. 9A is an ordinance for second readings and adoption. We will vote on this evening. Item 9A1 is a second reading of an ordinance establishing a daily fee for violating the city's exterior building requirements. Mr. Gilmore.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Our city code currently has requirements that are relatively stringent that apply to the exteriors of structures are laid out in the code, and the process is that it goes, if there's some violation, it goes through the municipal court, and then the judge makes the determination about whether there is some plan that can be worked out or if the owner or party is guilty through the regular process. What this ordinance does is that it provides a fine amount which tracks the usual amount that the magistrate or municipal court levies for those property owners that are in violation as determined by the court, not determined by council, for not meeting the requirements of that section of our code. We've talked about this before, and we recommend to council that you adopt.
Any questions or comments for Mr. Gilmore?
Mr. Gilmore,
Go ahead.
Mr. Gilmore, if the judge deems that Miss Annie or Mr. Riley or whomever it may be is not financially able to do what the city requested, is he gonna have the legal right to still put this fine on that individual?
I don't know, Mr. Hunt. Most of this type falls to the discretion of the judge, depending on the particular circumstances. Now, I do not think, although there could be some property owners, I do not think that the judge could ignore a piece of property that continues to deteriorate and moves from the exterior issues and problems to being an unsafe building. You know, I don't think the judge will allow that. But our experience has been with the judges we've had that they always try to work with the property owner, try to work out schedules as long as the property owner is working to attempt to do that, you know, like maybe just a little bit, for example, or getting some type of outside assistance or something, then it's the judge's discretion. The only time this goes into effect is if the judge actually says this fine is levied and now effective.
Thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Gilmore? This is the second reading of this, and so at this time I'll accept a motion supporting the recommendation from staff to enact this ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, show by raising your hand, please. All opposed? You're just abstaining?
Yes, sir. It's not clear enough to me to vote for it.
Mr. Walker, you can abstain on this.
If he feels like he has a conflict of interest, he can abstain, yes, sir.
Let the record show that there were 4 for it. Mr. Hunt abstained. Ordinance has been approved. Item 10 is other old business matters. Item 10A is business matters from the Mayor Pro Tem. I have none. Item 10B is items from council members. Mr. King,
I have none.
Mr. Jackson,
No, sir.
Mr. Hunt,
No, sir.
Mr. Jones,
No, sir.
Ms. Bynum Grace.
I have none.
Thank you. Item 10C is old business matters from the city manager, Mr. Gilmore.
No, sir.
All matters from the city attorney, Mr. Walker.
No, sir.
Thank you. Item 11 is new business. 11A is matters referred from July the 5th, 2016 pre-council meeting. Mr. Gilmore, I'm not aware of anything that we had transferred from that meeting to this meeting. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you. Item 11B is ordinances for the first reading and introduction. Item 11B1 is the first reading of an ordinance rezoning 5.3 acres from Houston County R-1 and C-1 districts to City of Perry C-2 General Commercial District. The property is located in the northwest corner of Highway 41 North and Mac Thompson Road. This is the first reading of an introduction of this ordinance, and there is no action required by the council. 11B2 is the first reading of an ordinance annexing 5.3 acres of Houston County R-1 and C-1 districts to City of Perry C-2 General Commercial District. The property is located in the northwest corner of Highway 41 North and Mac Thompson Road. This is the first reading of this annexation ordinance. There is no action required by the council at this time. 11C is resolutions for consideration and adoption. 11C1 is a resolution amending the City of Perry fee schedules. Mr. Gilmore.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Mayor Pro Tem and council members, in your packet is a resolution that recommends amending the fee schedule for the City of Perry. There are 3 major areas on this fee schedule amendment. The first is to enact those fees which were recommended in the FY 2017 budget, which you recently adopted. The Second portion of that is to adjust all our fees 2%, which is a standard practice the city has followed for a number of years. And the third portion is to include the actions taken by the General Assembly in House Bill 960, which reduces the penalties and time frames for delinquent property taxes and other type of taxes that we have. So we'd recommend to you all to adopt this resolution.
Is there any questions or comments from Mr. Gilmore relative to this resolution? If not, is there a motion to accept the staff's recommendation on this fee schedule?
So moved.
All in favor, please indicate by raising your hand. Resolution passes unanimously. Thank you. Item 11D1, or 11D is award of bids. 11D1 is bid number 2016-30. It's the Washington Street Sidewalk and Lighting Project. Mr. Gilmore.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. In your packet is the information recommending to award this project to LeKay Enterprises, Inc. in the amount of $213,781.50. There were 7 vendors who were contacted. Only 1 responded back. To the best of our knowledge, we've entered into a period where construction is picking up or booming, and we just did not have the response we had hoped for. This is a project to improve the pedestrian lighting and install brick pavers, handicap ramps, etc. On Washington Street between Commerce and Main. The funding for this project will be from the SPLOST 12 Construction Fund, and we recommend to you to award.
And it's on the south side of Washington only.
Correct.
It won't be on the north, I guess it's the north side.
That's
or
correct.
East, I guess it's the east side. West side, east side. The western side and the east side is on the church property over there, so.
Correct.
Now, Lee, this extends how many blocks?
2 or 3.
That's pretty high, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
But isn't it relative to what we've done over on Commerce as far as the cost?
Right.
Because we're also changing the lights out and everything at the same time.
Correct.
Any other questions or comments from Mr. Gilmore? If not, is there a motion to accept the staff's recommendation for accepting this bid?
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor, please indicate by raising hand. All those opposed?
I think it's too high. I think we need to go back out to bid.
Let the record show there was 4 for awarding the bid and 1 against. The bid is approved, Mr. Gilmore. Item 11E is authorized proceeding with the Perry Parkway Form-Based Zoning District. Mr. Gilmore.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Mayor and Council, in your packet is a response back from TSW, the consultants we used for form-based zoning districts on General Courtney Hodges Boulevard. Per the discussions between Council and the Planning Commission, the next recommended area to take a look at would be the Perry Parkway corridor, and we recommend to you to approve the response that you got from there. This will be paid for from the hotel motel tax.
And as I remember, we had an in-depth discussion at our last work session relative to this and what the thoughts are about what form-based code would look like or have a concept out there on Perry Parkway.
Correct.
Okay. Is there any questions or comments from Mr. Gilmore?
What is the cost?
I think it's $23,980.
And it's very much the same process we went through when we used a form-based code out on Courtney Hodges Boulevard, and so same type of development that we're looking from TSW. So, thank you, sir. If there's no other comments, I'll accept a motion to approve the recommendation of staff on authorizing proceeding with the Perry Parkway Form-Based Zone District.
So move.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by raising your hand. Please show that the authorized proceeding was unanimously approved. Item 12, department head items. Ms. King, we'll start with finance.
Nothing, sir.
Chief Stanton?
Nothing, sir.
Chief Lynn?
Nothing tonight, sir.
Economic Development, Mr. Smith?
Nothing, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. Mr. Aaron, Public Works?
Nothing, Mr. Mayor Pro
Okay.
Tem.
Mr. Chief Ephraim? Any-
Nothing, sir.
Wheeler? Nothing? Oh, you've been waiting, I can tell. Leisure Services, Mr. Dye.
One item, sir, and council. We had our community water battle on Saturday. It was, I think, 1,000 degrees outside, so it was a perfect day for it. I wanted to publicly acknowledge the fire department. They did a fantastic job, and it was absolutely more than we had hoped for on a scale of fun, enthusiasm, and just a very, very good day. We had several positive comments back from the community, had folks bring food that was just, it was just one of those deals that you had to see it to believe it and be there, but we really, really had a good time. We want to do it again next year. We just think it's something that has a lot of potential for a lot of fun for the community, especially with the nice hot summers we get this time of year. Mr. Hunt, did you want to add anything? He was right there with me in battle, so.
I had a heck of a good time.
I think we lost, though. I don't think we beat the fire department. They took it to us pretty good.
They had more firepower than we did. But
Go ahead.
the firemen themselves enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
I think everyone there that could get wet, got wet.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what the conclusion that I drew looking at the pictures with what the fire department had out there that they were using, that if you were anywhere within the park, you probably got wet.
Yes, sir. And on our next meeting, I was going to prepare a PowerPoint short slide just to show some of those photos for those who haven't seen it on Facebook or any of those things.
Super.
So some more. That's all I have.
Thanks. It's a great idea. We really appreciate you guys pulling it all together and making it happen. Thanks to the fire department for your participation as well. So it looked like it was a great team effort. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I think that's everybody that's out there. Council member items. Ms. Bynum Grace.
I have none.
Mr. Jones.
One item, Mayor Pro Tem. I would like to say to the gentleman from Terramore that I myself have gotten several compliments on the new Dollar General and Courtney Hodges, and it's very much appreciated, and we appreciate y'all doing business in the city of Perry.
Thank you very much.
That's all.
Mr. Hunt.
No, sir.
Mr. Jackson.
No, sir.
No,
Mr.
sir.
King.
No, sir.
Mr. Walker.
No, sir.
Mr. Gilmore.
No, sir.
Is there anyone in the general public that would like to address council at this time? And thank you. Item 15 is mayor items. I'd like to congratulate Ms. Bynum Grace officially from the chair for being named to the GMA Hall of Fame over the last, I guess it was weekend before last, maybe last weekend. And so congratulations to you, and that's quite an honor to be named to that. There was only 3 people named this year, and she happened to be one of those 3 inductees. And it was based upon the work that she has done in Perry for the citizens of Perry and the many things that she's accomplished. And the rumor is that, or the paper said, I guess, where I read it, that she has many things left to accomplish, and we hope to have her with us for a very long period of time. But congratulations, Ms. Bynum Grace, on that honor.
Again, thank you.
15 years. Might add that you are required to serve 15 years just to be nominated.
And since I read everything that comes across my desk, I know that's not accurate.
That's what it said. Am I correct?
I'm just teasing.
And you had some,
Qualification.
and you had some comments, I guess, for this evening.
Oh, just thank you for. Well, my family were all community activists, and I'm just following in their footsteps. And when I came home, I decided that I saw some things that I thought needed to be done, so I worked toward that goal. And there are other goals that I think I need to complete that are on my bucket list. So, and I can also tell you this. I don't know who else is thinking about it, but I will be seeking another term because there are some things that I still need to do.
Good. Thank you.
And again, thank you.
That's the way to lay it right out there.
I went right on out there.
And I have to say that it's the only time I've been with Miss Bynum Grace that she was totally speechless. We accompanied her on the stage, and they tried to get her to say something, and the only thing she says, I need to go sit down. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Tomorrow afternoon, there will be a dedication of the new traffic signal at Highway 127 and Matt Arthur School. This has been a long time in coming. There's been a large amount of discussion about the safety issues out there, and DOT has installed a light. So at 2 o'clock, we would welcome you to come out and for the ribbon cutting out there. It is tomorrow, right, Chief? Okay.
Sure.
And item 2 is the walk with the mayor on a cool July afternoon. July the 26th. And amazingly enough, it's in Miss Bynum Grace and Mr. King's district. And so you'll have
I
to.
don't know where it can take place. You just said a cool July afternoon.
Well,
I didn't think there was such a thing.
Miss Bynum Grace is going to take care of that for us. And so
I'll see about rain.
if you can get a route to Miss Warren so we can get that publicized, we would appreciate it.
I will.
Those are the only 2 items I have for the evening. If there's nothing else, we will stand adjourned.